Well, I think it's time we go get some more Usman discs. So we're gonna head to Replay Sports in McKinney, Texas. You guys can come along and I'll tell you what I found and what I also did not pick up. Sometimes I'll show some of those if you look interesting enough. So let's head to Replay. And luckily, I'm only 10 minutes away from Replay. I'm so glad I'm so close. If you're local in the area, they have the best Usman selections around. All right, let's head over there and see what we find. The first disc we're going to be throwing today, really putting with, is going to be this KC Pro Aviar. The thing about this one was it's penned, so it is an earlier run of KC Pro Aviar, super stiff, and this one was ironically grippy, which KC Pro typically isn't the grippiest plastic. It's kind of the best of both worlds, firm and grippy. And then I was looking through the used miscellaneous selection because sometimes you can find some really interesting discs, and I found something very bizarre. So I thought this was actually just going to be like an MVP mold because it's an overmold, but that's actually Latitude 64's overmold technology. It's a Burst 2X Opto G, which is their overmold blend with a glow rim. Super rare find, really cool. And then I was going to go get a mid-range. I was hitting up the clearance section and I found this Air Force stamped Rock 3 for $3. That was cool, which basically means that it's a team stamp, which normally those are only given out to the team players on Innova. We do have a lot here in DFW, or we have had a lot of those, so sometimes you can find those pretty easily. And this is a Fission Hex. This is the special edition. It's more of a rare run of the Hex. It's the stamp, it's the run that gives it a lot of value. And then I found a patent pending pre-flight number Neutron Servo. Very, very good fairway driver. This one already sold to somebody who's looking for this, so that one's already gone, but I still got it in this video. And this is something I probably recorded 3 weeks ago. It's still there today in Replay if you want to go look for this one. This is a pinned T-Bird, and it is extremely good. I keep almost buying it, so if it's in there the next time I go next week, I'll buy it. Next is to caught my eye was a Heiserbomb prototype veteran. It says run of 700. I could see it was pinned on the bottom. It's like a Chant plastic pinned VE on the bottom, so much older run. Now this is produced by Innova, and I cannot figure out if that is a Eagle top and T-Bird bottom, or if it's T-Bird top and Eagle bottom, because it is super interesting. I think it's an Eagle top. If you know, let me know in the comments what it is. This is a 2018 Coling Thunderbird, barely thrown at all. Super excited for that one. Instant pickup on a really good overstable 9-speed, and you don't see those too often in the used bins anymore. This one was a Protostar Champion Rock 3, which is actually pretty cool, pretty unique. It's also in there still, but it was a little warped, so I don't like buying warped discs like that, especially if I'm selling them and somebody buys it, a viewer, and you didn't like the disc. That would would keep me up at night. This is a pre-flight number Pro Wraith. Almost snagged this one. It felt super good, but it was just so inked up. I decided to pass. And this one was a pretty rare find. This is a Ontario DX Rock. So that was the tooling they did in 1990 to 1995. Super old disc. And it felt really, really good, like surprisingly good. I was trying to figure out what this was. Still got the patent numbers on it, so those are some things to look for. It had no stamp on there. It wasn't wiped, so it was a blank one. So I don't know. It's just something unique about that rock that was pretty cool. And of course, anytime you see the Paul McBeth 4-time destroyers, this run is legendary. It is so good. Like if you can make destroyers like this again, that's what you should be running. It's an embossed one. Brand new, they go for anywhere from like 40 to 50. This one was only $8, probably because of the ink on the top. And I will happily take that. I can get over that. So we picked that one up, and then if you notice the top where it says Discraft Force and Z, on the bottom, those are typically older runs. This one was actually dated 2009 for a tournament, and it is a flat, stiff Force, which is going to be great here at Bill Allen, as I need those for some forehands. Let's do more of a condensed round today. Just going to get this done for you guys so you can see how these fly in case you do want to pick these up on my website, cottoncandydiscgolf.com. This is the Air Force Champion Rock 3. Simple hyzer. It holds the line, skips right behind the pin. It's only 279 feet, so it's a pretty simple up and down if you play here a lot. And of course, we were putting with that KC Pro Aviar today. It is Again, a little bit grippier than your traditional KC, stiffer, it's a pinned run, so more sought after. And I do traditionally like firmer and grippier plastics for putters, so it really felt good. And this one was the Jeremy Colling Tour Series Thunderbird, which, you know, I know a lot of people like throwing Thunderbird. It's kind of like a less stable Firebird, except it's got a taller shoulder. But, I mean, we pretty much hit the dead bullseye when it came to the gap. Now, I thought I was close to an ace there. Well, I don't really think I was. I think it was a little bit shorter, so nice overstable Thunderbird left me with just outside of a circle look here for a birdie. Maybe an inch more would have been good. When we move on to hole 3, I'm going with this, you know, overmold disc. It doesn't feel bad or anything. It feels good. It's domey. I just remember like standing on this tee pad, trying to be like, is it going to be flippy? Is it going to be overstable? Is it going to be straight? I just went with a hyzer to be safe here. On the right-hand side, it's not a long hole. It's only like maybe 160, 170 or so feet, if I have to guess. Just kind of left me behind this little bush, but shouldn't be an issue. Well, maybe I already know what's going to happen, so yes, it wasn't an issue. Simple putt to get me to 2 under through 3 holes so far. I actually like throwing a hex on a forehand here. So the pin is a little on the right, if you look like straight down this fairway. So the hex normally will like drift left and then it'll finish right and just skip down to park it. It just, that one's, I think is 163 grams, so it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more understable in my opinion, so it didn't have kind of the finish that I was hoping for. The spike hyzer on the right is so much easier with the backhand, but we still almost, so close, almost got it. But we are now going up with my favorite hole because I can just throw hard. Now, this one has a higher parting line, which if you put it in your hand and it feels like the wing is taller, that's basically what that means if you're not familiar with parting lines. So it should be a little bit more overstable. So I'm throwing this on Anheuser. Maybe I just threw that flat, actually. At least I was trying to throw it Annie. Drifted right, came back in line. It's a really, really good destroyer. It left me with maybe 150, 130 feet, somewhere around that range, where it's standstill approach with the KC Pro AVR. Little Annie to stall it just behind the pin for a birdie look. This disc here is a great destroyer. I was super happy with how that flew. Just a little tap in left. We get to 3 under par through 5 holes, which is great. And then we're going over here to the pond shot. So you have basically this window where you can work something from the left to right. There's a sidewalk behind that can get a little bit tricky. So this is that Silas Schultz FD. It had a lot more drift to the right than I expected before it finally hooked up at the end. So I actually thought I was going OB here, but it stayed in bounds barely. So it left me with kind of an edge of circle putt to deal with. But look, I mean, if I give myself a chance for birdies, sometimes they go in. So that is great. I mean, now we're 4 under through 6. Super happy with that start. If I can be 4 or 5 or 6 under, I guess for like my target personally is like 6 under on the front 9. And then we're going with a flat top Z Force here. It's kind of exactly why I got this disc, was for this hole in mind. So this one is a very overstable Force. If you can get down there just to this spot, it leaves you with a pretty simple putt, even if you hit the trees. So we're able to get to 5 under through 7 now. Next shot is going to be an over-the-top shot with the 4-time destroyer. And if you need to figure out what line to take, this is the perfect line. You hug the inside. You want to be big hyzer, and it gets you down into this bowl, which is a much easier putt. It's uphill, so you can actually run it a little bit more. And we're now sitting at like 6 under through 8 holes, which is incredible. Could get to 7 here. I've never got the perfect 9. I've gotten 8 a couple times, but this is that old DX Rock that really wasn't thrown until I picked it up. And we've got a putt for birdie that I missed off the top of the little nubs again. So we're 6 through 9 was great front 9 score. Going to the Air Force stamped rock 3 here. You can see I had barely any drift at all, and I actually thought I had a great shot on this one, but it got stuck between this root. You know, sometimes it happens. So we're gonna have a just outside of circle putt here. I like doing this little pop step with the jump, and we're able to get it. The little grippiness on the KC Pro kind of gave me a little bit more spin to work with there. So now we're 7 under. 7 under is great, but you can blow up on this hole. I'm going with a hex, and it hit the first tree. It is so hard to throw this hole. Like, it is way easier on camera, I'll promise you that. That's an OB stroke. I decided to re-tee because I hadn't thrown the servo yet, hoping it was going to flip up, and still managed to find a tree down the fairway, but it luckily landed in the middle. At least we can get up and down for a bogey at this point. So that's all I wanted to do, get this hole over with, because it can absolutely ruin your scorecards. So we'll take a bogey, and we move on to another one. So now we're 6 under, and this one is a very tricky hole. I almost never get the birdie here, but I do think this is the best play to get there. It is a flex forehand with that Z-force. Took me quite a while to find this disc because I just didn't expect it to be so close to the basket. So there's me looking around there. I highly suggest using the forehand if you don't know how to play this hole. So in circle 1, easy birdie look, should get us to back right to 7 under here. That was horrible. It was very bad. Bad putt. You got to give it at least a chance. If you're missing low, do not miss low, okay? You miss high. If you're going to miss high, if you're going to miss the basket, higher is way better. We're going with the Koling 2018 Thunderbird here. It was really overstable. Cut the corner, got in front of all the trees. Now that normally they play this as a par 4 in tournaments, I play this as a par 3. Just traditional layout. We'll tap out there for a par. So it's not, we mitigated the damage those 3 holes can like ruin your round pretty honestly. So like 1 over through those 3 holes, not too bad. Going with the KC Pro AVR over the short tiny gap that they have there now, and we're able to get out of there with a birdie. So we're back to 7 under. I'm going with the veteran here. Got a slight headwind, so I'm aiming at the left edge of those trees, hoping it was going to push right, and it did. And it actually went pretty dang far down the fairway. All I had to do was a little step putt just into the hillside, have it crash up there. I mean, that's a great toss on a 520-foot hole. I don't know if it's actually that far. It might be shorter. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe 480. And we're 8 under. Again, my goal anytime I come out here is to get to double digits. That is probably at least 1,000 rated. And we're going here with the Rock 3. It was into a headwind, but it gave me with the Circle's Edge putt, which anytime we're in Circle's Edge, we got to be hitting metal. So at least we didn't go OB and miss the whole basket. We'll tap out for par. And then we're going for this servo. And I hadn't really thrown the servo a lot. Probably not the best disc off the tee there. It crashed across the creek, gave me a look to just get up and down here for a birdie. I was throwing that really glidey MVP style of Latitude 64 disc. So we get that one for a birdie and go on the last hole here, which is really good if you throw like just basically a fairway driver, even something overstable to just right down this tunnel fairway. It's pretty tight, but it's only like 280 feet. So the idea is that you hit it into the bottom of the hill and just skip up. And that's what we did there, and leaves me with this to get to 10 under. We nailed it. I was pumped about that one. Final score 10 under. Can't complain with new discs. These are great ones. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.